Mark Thompson was a man of routine. He woke up, drank his coffee, and coded for a living. He was good at his job, a software engineer in the bustling city. But his love life? Well, that was a different story. After a string of bad dates, Mark found himself on Tinder, another face in the digital sea of hopeful singles. He wasn't looking for anything serious, just a connection, someone to share a laugh with. Mark swiped left and right, a mix of boredom and genuine curiosity fueling his search. He read profiles, some funny, some strange, some utterly forgettable. He matched with a few women, exchanged a handful of messages, but nothing really stuck. Until Lisa. Her profile picture, a candid shot of her laughing with wind-blown hair, stopped in mid-swipe. Her bio, simple and witty, made him smile. Mark swiped right, a small flicker of hope igniting within him. Lisa messaged back, and soon they were lost in conversation. They talked about their love for coffee, their shared dream of hiking the Pacific Crest Trail, their favorite books and movies. Mark found himself drawn to Lisa's easygoing nature and her infectious laugh, which he could practically hear through her messages. He learned she was a freelance writer, working from home while raising her son, Ethan. Mark, who had always been a bit reserved, surprised himself with how easily he opened up to Lisa. He told her about his passion for coding, his quiet life, his dreams of one day traveling the world. They exchanged numbers and their conversations flowed seamlessly from text to phone calls. Mark found himself looking forward to their nightly chats, his heart lighter than it had been in months.
I don't think so. No, 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 no. I don't think so. No, 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 no. It's never, ever, 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 ever gonna happen. I don't think so. No, 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 no. I don't think so. No, 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 no. It's never, ever, 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 ever gonna happen. I don't think so. No, 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 no. Maybe someday you'll have it your way.
Both wanting more. Joy of family. Section 5. Cracks in the facade, cancelled dates and whispered calls. However, amidst the growing warmth and affection, Mark started noticing things. Little things at first. Cancelled dates at the last minute, whispered phone calls that Lisa quickly ended when he entered the room. She would become distant and withdrawn, her usual sunny disposition clouded with a vague sadness that she refused to explain. Mark tried to brush it off, telling himself it was just work stress or maybe something personal she wasn't ready to share. But the doubts lingered, gnawing at the edges of his happiness. He couldn't shake off the feeling that Lisa was hiding something, a secret that cast a long shadow over their relationship. The easy trust they had built began to crumble, replaced by a gnawing uncertainty that kept Mark constantly on edge. Section 6. The confrontation, Ethan's father and shattered trust. The truth, when it finally surfaced, came in a torrent of tears and apologies. One night, after a particularly close call with a cancelled date and a hushed phone conversation, Mark confronted Lisa. Her carefully constructed walls crumbled and the truth poured out. Ethan's father, who Lisa had described as being out of the picture, was back. He wanted to be a part of Ethan's life again. The phone calls, the cancelled dates, the secrecy. It all stemmed from Lisa's fear of disrupting Ethan's life, of hurting Mark by introducing this unexpected variable into their relationship. Mark, reeling from the revelation, felt betrayed. It wasn't the return of Ethan's father that hurt the most, but the web of lies Lisa had woven, the way she had carefully kept him in the dark. The trust he had so readily given, the future he had envisioned, shattered into a million pieces. Section 7. Picking up the pieces, healing and rediscovering himself. The breakup was inevitable, a painful but necessary severing of ties. Mark moved out, taking with him only a few belongings and a heart heavy with the weight of heartbreak. He threw himself into his work, seeking solace in the familiar comfort of lines of code and the hum of his computer. He avoided all contact with Lisa, the pain of her betrayal still too raw. He started going on runs again, the rhythmic pounding of his feet on the pavement a physical manifestation of the turmoil within him. He reconnected with old friends, their laughter a balm to his wounded spirit. Slowly, painstakingly, Mark began to heal. He started to remember who he was outside of the relationship, rediscovering his independence and strength. Section 8. Second chances and the ghost of trust past. Months later, Lisa reached out. She apologized for her deceit, explaining her actions but making no excuses. She told him she understood if he never wanted to see her or Ethan again, but she needed him to know how sorry she was. Mark, his heart no longer a raw wound, found himself agreeing to meet for coffee. They talked, this time with a newfound honesty, the ghost of their past hovering over them. Lisa had changed. She was more open, more willing to let Mark in. She explained that while Ethan's father was back in their lives, things were different. There was no more secrecy, no more lies. Mark saw the genuine remorse in her eyes, the love for her son that had driven her to such lengths. Part of him, the part that still cared for Lisa deeply, wanted to believe they could find their way back to each other. Section 9. A new dawn, a new smile, stepping into the future. They tried dating again, taking things slow, rebuilding the foundation of their relationship brick by fragile brick. But the shadow of Lisa's past actions loomed large. Mark found it difficult to fully trust her again, the memory of her betrayal a constant whisper in his ear. They both realized with a bittersweet ache that some wounds, no matter how carefully tended, leave scars that never truly fade. They parted ways again, this time with a sad acceptance that some things, once broken, cannot be fully restored. Mark, though hurting, knew it was the right decision. He had learned that trust, once shattered, can be incredibly difficult, if not impossible, to fully rebuild. He wished Lisa and Ethan all the best, a genuine sentiment that held no trace of bitterness. He threw himself into his work, his social life, embracing the single life he had once been so eager to escape. And then, one day, he met someone new. A chance encounter at a bookstore. A shared love for classic literature. A first date filled with laughter and easy conversation. It was a new beginning, a fresh start, and Mark, older and wiser, was ready to embrace it with an open heart. Section 10. Reflections on love, loss, and the lessons learned. Looking back, Mark realized that his journey, though painful, had been transformative. He had loved, lost, and learned. He had learned about the importance of trust, the courage it takes to be vulnerable, and the resilience of the human heart. He had learned that sometimes the greatest love stories are not about finding a perfect happily ever after, but about the journey itself, the lessons learned, and the growth that comes from embracing both the joy and the heartache. He looked at the woman sitting across from him, her smile reflecting his own, and knew that he was exactly where he was supposed to be. Life, he realized, was full of unexpected twists and turns, and sometimes the greatest adventures come from embracing the unknown with an open heart.